Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of my Moon Signs of the Zodiac series. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about what it means if you or someone you know has their moon in the sign of Scorpio. Now, what does it mean when your moon is in the sign of Scorpio? Well, we first have to understand what does the moon represent in astrology. So, it represents your emotional needs, your emotional nature. It shows the things that you need in order to feel secure, safe, and comfortable on an emotional level. It also represents your automatic behaviors and reactions to things and your conditioning and the way that you were raised, particularly from your mother. The moon sign reflects the relationship and experiences that you had with her, and it generally is the case that you will observe, notice, and interact, and then take on her emotional nature in a way that kind of becomes your framework for dealing with situations and what you also need for emotional stability and security. It's what comes naturally and easily to you. It's who you are, really, more than anything else. The sun, people think the sun is about who you are, and it's kind of it's about what you do, and it's about how you are perceived, but it's not really who you are. The moon really is who you are on the inside, and it's the part of us that people aren't really going to notice that like super obvious. It's more like close friends, family, romantic partners. They're going to notice your moon side a lot more than anyone else. So Scorpio moon, right? So this is an interesting placement. It's not necessarily the easiest placement for the moon. The moon is a little bit uncomfortable here. It's not a bad thing, but it's a bit more dynamic than some of the other moon signs. So Scorpio moon, it's a water sign. It's ruled by water. Well, its element is water, and it's a fixed sign. So I've actually heard people say Scorpio, because it's water and because it's fixed element, it's like ice, fixed water, ice. It is a cool sign, as well. And it's traditionally it's ruled by Mars, the planet of war and action. Its modern ruler and also its co-ruler is Pluto, the planet of death, transformation, and rebirth, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff as well. I mean, same with Mars. It also has other connotations, but those are the main things that are associated with Mars and Pluto. So generally, myself included, people will look at both Mars and Pluto as ruling Scorpio. And that's how I interpret it. Yeah. So another thing to know about Scorpio is it's at home in the 8th house, which means Scorpio as a sign is naturally imbued and intrinsically linked with the 8th house of the astrology. So what does the 8th house represent? Well, the 8th house is one of the hidden houses. Hidden house has been 4th house, 8th house, 12th house. So it's hidden house, very hidden, very deep. When I imagine the 8th house, I imagine like if you got like the incredibly strong torch, flashlight, and you shine it into the 8th house, you're not going to see anything because it's just so deep. It's like an abyss, kind of never ending, really. And the 8th house is more subjective and hard to describe than the other houses. You can. Like, it's the house of things that are hidden, occult, death, transformation, the house of sex, the house of loss. Yes, it's the house of loss. It's the house of it's a strongly karmic house. It's also the house of other people's values, other people's money, having to deal with that and having to, like the 8th house is the opposite of the 2nd house. So the 2nd house is your stuff, your money, your values, your things, your comfort. So the 8th house is the loss of that and other people's values. So 8th house has an alarmist, uncomfortable, dangerous vibe because it's kind of like enemy territory in a way, or uncomfortable territory. It's it's a strange one, So Scorpio is intrinsically linked with those things. Scorpio is also ruled by, well, it's associated with the the scorpion. So, the scorpion, small. You look at some of the other animals of the zodiac. You got like the bull, you got the goat, you got the lion. And scorpion is very small. It doesn't necessarily have a lot of weight to throw around. It stays hidden. It's got poison. It can sting. So it's a lot more. It has to be, because of its nature. It has to be a lot more hidden, careful, sneaky, and yeah, like cunning. So that is imbued with the nature of Scorpio. Also, quick note on the element of water. I forgot to say water is the emotions. So this is a deeply emotional sign, deeply sensitive sign, deeply subjective and intuitive sign as well. This is not one of the more analytical ones. This is not one of the more material based signs. This is super emotion, super experience orientated rather than stuff orientated. I suppose that's maybe a clumsy way of explaining it, but I'll try to explain it more in greater detail. So, if someone's moon is ruled by Scorpio, this person is going to be, they're going to have a deep need for secrecy. They're, yeah, they're going to want to have their secrets, their privacy. They're not going to feel comfortable sharing. They're not an open book. They don't feel comfortable being an open book. And the reasons for that, probably their experiences with people, especially growing up. They felt like, I have to keep secrets. I have to be hidden. I have to be careful. I have to be safe. You can't really trust people so much. So Scorpio moon, yeah, big need for secrecy. They're not going to keep loads of secrets from everyone. Like, they're going to have people that they're super, super close with, and they're going to share maybe everything, but those people are very, very few, and they're not going to trust these people super easily either. So they're not comfortable opening up. I'd say these people are patient. They kind of play the long game, I would say. Maybe it's because of their fixed modality. Maybe it's because they got the cunning sneakiness of a scorpion. They are not a kind of rush in and just say whatever and just be super honest and confronting. These aren't really confrontational kind of people. They're a bit more politically minded than that, I suppose. Or yeah, like that's not their style. They're not like super honest, immediate kind of people. These are hidden people, you know. So intense emotions that comes with the territory. This is fixed water, This is the iceberg, stores things, stores past experiences, stores psychic energy, emotional experiences. It's like a tape recorder. It just, stuff happens and it stays in there. The scorpion will not forget, won't really forget anything, really. gonna they're gonna keep all that, and that's what I'm saying. It's like an abyss, it's like so much information, emotions. Like, it's not, might be hidden to other people, but they're not gonna forget. They're not gonna let things go. I'm not saying they're gonna hold loads of grudges. They might, but it's like they don't really let go of stuff. Like, once they've learned something about someone, once they have an experience, once they haven't, they remember. Yeah, big memory, and it gets stored there. So they probably are going to seem quite calm and collected on the surface. They're, like I'm saying, they're not an open book. Despite that, these people are probably going to give off a vibe anyway, even if they don't want to, even if they don't know they're doing that, even if it's not intentional. These Scorpio moon people, other people are going to pick up on that. It's almost like an electricity. It's almost like people aren't going to be able to put their finger on it. They're not going to be able to intellectualize it or even acknowledge that but themselves consciously, but deep down, probably going to notice these Scorpio moon people and go, oh, this person's a bit different. This person's a bit there's something about this person, and that you're probably going to have a Marmite effect on people. They're going to either really love you, or they're really going to really not like you at all, or they're going to be uncomfortable with you and they might not even know why. This is Scorpio moon type energy. It's got that intensity that comes with the territory, and that is a kind of love or hate thing, giving off an energy. And yeah, like, and like you might be feeling a whole range of powerful emotions, and you're not really going to show it too obviously, but one thing about Scorpio moons is I would say there is a desire to be powerful, or to feel powerful, or to feel in control, and to feel like yeah, power, desire for power. And that's not necessarily in a kind of miserly, ugly way, like I just want to like be powerful for the sake of it. Might be. It might be for some people. They're like, I just want to be powerful, and I want to, because I do. I feel like that desire for power comes from the fear and the memory of not having any power, and feeling very afraid and very scared, and being like, I never want to feel that way again. So there's a desire for power, and a, a feeling of a desire for control as well. And that's going to have a self-soothing thing. Like you kind of need that to make you feel comfortable, safe, and secure. And you know that in life that it's not always, you're not always going to be in control. You're not always going to feel safe and secure. And there's probably a lot of experiences, especially growing up, where like this person's been burned by other people, like bad experiences. You've had your trust broken, you've had your heart broken, you've had people talk shit about you basically, and it's made the Scorpio moon individual just very cautious and very private, and never wanting to feel powerless again, like that. So there is a kind of need there, like, oh, like it's almost like a sense of pride, or like yeah, like I want to be powerful, I want to be in control because I never want to repeat things that have happened before. Which gets me onto this point here that I forgot to write down in my notes, but that is that Scorpio is one of the crisis or the trauma signs of the zodiac, those being Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Virgo seeks to control through practical means, Pisces seeks to escape, dissociate, and Scorpio seeks power and control, typically through other people, alliances and connections, and um, sometimes manipulation might come into that, but there's a kind of survival mode switch that everyone has, and that is very much switched on most of the time with the Scorpio moon individual. Like their survival mode switch is switched on. Because like I'm saying, there's past memory of trauma and pain and powerlessness. So I would say, yeah, these people probably would do well with a partner who maybe they have an earth moon, or they are an earth sign, or an air sign as well, intellectualizing or earth stable, practical. The Scorpio moon individual, so they know intense emotions. Like these people know fear, anxiety, depression, hatred, even. And like it's not like they're uncomfortable with it. These aren't people that are uncomfortable with emotions. The Scorpio moon individual very comfortable with their emotions. Actually, they know that how, like, this is an unavoidable part of their experience, part of life. So they're not going to run from their emotions. They're not going to be afraid of their emotions. In fact, these people are probably, they have made friends with their own personal demons, their own shadow side, their own dark side. Yeah, they know it. They know the dark side of themselves, of other people, of life, and they're not going to run from that. Typically, they're not going to run from that. But they might do well with having people in their life that have a, yeah, like an earthy, stable kind of energy. For so when a Scorpio moon individual just is like almost drowning in emotion, or they're in a dark place, as they often maybe go to, because this is one of the moon signs that is more associated with mental illness and catastrophization and fear, or even having experienced traumatic events, that they're going to need like people around them they can really trust, like people that put their life on the line for this person. Like if they don't have that, they're in trouble. Scorpio moon person's probably going to have that in their life. They probably will have that because like all of the moon signs, they have things that it's like they need for survival, skills that they develop in order to meet their needs. And the Scorpio moon individual, they're so good at observing people, of knowing people, of noticing things on an energetic, emotional, and psychic level, and also on just like a investigative, knowing the facts kind of way. And the reason for that is so that they can get the intel on people. They can get the vibe on like how people are, so that they can know who are the bad people here that I don't want to be associated with, who are the good ones, who are the real people that like like they're gonna like be in my corner when I'm in trouble. So they're probably going to be very good at sussing people out so that they can just pick out like the people that are real, the real ones, and then form deep connections with those people, very deep, generally lifelong connections with those people. So Scorpio moon people probably not going to have a lot of friends. Less is more with Scorpio moon. They'd rather have like one or two like super tight, like people in their lives so that like they know they're always going to be there for them. They're they're going to be there no matter what, rather than like like 10 people that kind of flaky and be like yeah whatever, or they can't really trust like the Scorpio moon like person. They're going to be so uncomfortable with that, so they're not really going to have like a super wide social circle like that. So yeah, just super investigative mind, like super like these people are probably very good so like maybe journalists or investigators. These people, Scorpio moon people, they're going to be more drawn toward yeah, psychology, one anything that helps them understand people, understand themselves, dark side of life. They might really like documentaries or podcasts about like serial killers or cults, or these people might be into yeah like occult kind of magic practices, also astrology as well. They're going to be into the stuff that's hidden. They're going to be into stuff that's a bit strange, a bit macabre. These people, maybe more likely than most people, they probably that to really like horror movies and stuff like that. Just anything like kind of scary and morbid. These people probably love Halloween. To be honest, they yeah, just super yeah, connected to the kind of like I'm saying the shadow side of humanity, just the shadows, the darkness. And yeah, these people, the people in their life that they are super connected with, they're going to be like super loyal, sometimes to a fault. Sometimes it's going to be really really hard for people to kind of connect with the Scorpio moon person. They're going to be so reticent to really trust, but when they do, they're going to be like super connected with those people like forever. And that's a good thing, but it's also the dark side of that. The more negative side of that is that these people could stick with people that aren't good for them. They could stick with them because they're so loyal and they're so connected to the people that are in their inner sanctum that they're going to have a hard time letting go. This is a fixed sign, fixed energy. They're not so good at letting go. Fixed water, the iceberg, like they hold on to stuff, they hold on. So yeah, and like obviously, so the way that I view moon signs is like you have your emotional nature, yeah, emotional needs, but we also have the reason for that. And the reason for that is their experiences growing up, their childhood experiences, their experiences with the family, the mother, just in anything in general growing up. And these people may have felt unsafe growing up. They may have experienced trauma. They may have experienced being let down, neglected. If they haven't, then the chances are maybe their parents have, particularly their mum might have, and maybe passed down that somehow on an energetic level, maybe through her actions. Maybe she was dealing with mental health issues. Maybe she was dealing with addictions. Maybe she had stuff that she just wasn't over from her own childhood. Other family members as well. There could be generational stuff going on. If it's not your own traumatic experiences, like probably people around you, people in your family, and or past life experiences as well that were traumatic, or maybe you went out before your time, accidents, death, like that has still got to be dealt with in this lifetime. So you're kind of coming in with that kind of those memories on a unconscious level kind of activated and needing to be processed. So yeah, so these people are super aware of like the dark side, painful side of life, and everything, like really early on, you know. And that's what shaped them and created their kind of emotional needs and everything for, you know, like security, privacy, made them real careful, you know, because of these experiences, you know. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I would say for Scorpio Moon. If you liked this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment, please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.